Identifying the purpose, key structural and language feature of various types of informational text. At the end of this module, you are expected to 1. Distinguish different types of informational texts, 2. Define informational text, and 3. Enumerate different types of informational text. Read and answer the following questions carefully. Write the letter of the correct answer in your answer sheet. 1. Which of the following descriptions is a literary non-fiction? A. It provides step-by-step guidelines that describe how to complete a task. B. It includes biographies, memoirs, journalism, and historical, scientific, technical, or economic accounts. C. It includes claims, evidence, and warrants to explain how the evidence is linked to the claims. D. It utilizes question and answer, problems and solutions. 2. Showing a cause and effect relationship is an example of what type of informational text? A. Procedural text. B. Argument or persuasion. C. Literary non-fiction. D. Expository.
3. One Monday morning in October, photos of floating fishes in the sea were flashed on the front pages of all newspapers. There was fish poisoning in Manila Bay. The water in the bay was found polluted with cyanide, a poisonous chemical. Traces of this poisonous chemical were detected in the internal organs of the fish. Experts from Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, BFAR, said. The informational text you have read is an example of A. Argument or persuasion. B. Expository. C. Literary nonfiction. D. Procedural text. 4. These texts provide step-by-step guidelines that describe how to complete a task. A. Literary texts. B. Expository texts. C. Procedural texts. D. Argument persuasion texts. 5. Showing how to prepare or cook food step-by-step and a list of ingredients is an example of A. Literary non-fiction. B. Expository. C. Procedural text. D. Argument or persuasion. 6. In church, young Galileo forgot all about the music and prayers because he was attracted by a swinging lamp. Cause: he was attracted by the swinging lamp. Effect: young Galileo forgot all about the music and prayers. This is an example of A. Procedural text. B. Argument or persuasion. C. Literary nonfiction. D. Expository. 7. Which of the following describes argument or persuasion text? A. Includes biographies, memoirs, journalism, and historical, scientific, technical, or economic accounts. B. Includes claims, evidence, and warrants to explain how the evidence is linked to the claims. C. Utilizes question and answer, problems and solutions. D. Provides step-by-step guidelines that describe how to complete a task. Lesson 1. Distinguishing various types of informational text. An informational text is a non-fiction writing, written with the intention of informing the reader about a specific topic. It is typically found in a magazine, cookbook, textbook, science or history book, autobiography and instruction manual. Identify the informative material described below. Choose your answer from the box and write your answer in your answer sheet. 1. A printed publication, usually printed daily, consists of folded unstapled sheets and containing news, feature articles, advertisements, and correspondence. 2. A written or printed work consisting of pages glued or sewn together along one side and bound in covers. 3. It is a diary where we keep an account of our daily events or thoughts, or a publication dealing with a specific industry or field. 4. An account of a person's life written by himself. 5. It is a user guide explaining how to operate or how to do a certain task. 6. It is also called a synonym dictionary. 7. It is a detailed description of a person's life. 8. It allows us to locate a listing for a book by title, by author, and by subject. 9. It is a reference source containing words, usually alphabetically arranged, along with information about their pronunciations, etymologies, functions, and meanings. 10. It is a book of maps or charts. Look at the pictures closely. Try to guess what they are all about. The pictures above are some of the examples where you can find informational texts. An informational text is defined as a text with the primary purpose of expressing information about the arts, sciences, or social studies. This text ranges from newspaper and magazine articles to digital information, to non-fiction trade books to textbooks and reference materials. Discussion of Activity 1. There are specifically 4 types of informational texts: literary non-fiction, expository, argument or persuasion, and procedural. Literary non-fiction. Literary non-fiction includes shorter texts, such as personal essays, speeches, opinion pieces, essays about art or literature, biographies, memoirs, journalism, and historical, scientific, technical, or economic accounts, including digital sources, written for a broad audience. Autobiographies, biographies, other narrative non-fiction, informational picture books, and informational poetry often fit into this category. Narrative informational text typically communicates accurate information and has a well-defined beginning, middle, and end. Informational poetry weaves facts into poems. Procedural texts. Procedural texts provide step-by-step guidelines that describe how to complete a task. They often include a material needed section and graphics that illustrate the process, as found in Doug Stillinger's The Klutz Book of Paper Airplanes. Jane Drake and Anne Love's Get Outside provides readers with rules for games and directions for making things like bird feeders, kites, and sundials. Expository texts. Expository texts inform, explain, and expose. They utilize various text structures, such as description, cause and effect, comparison and contrast, problem and solution, question and answer, and temporal sequence. Argument or persuasion texts. Argument or persuasion texts provide evidence with the intent of influencing the beliefs or actions of the target audience. These texts typically include claims, evidence, and warrants to explain how the evidence is linked to the claims. Writers of persuasion or argument also make appeals to the author's credibility, to the audience's needs, or to reason and evidence. It also uses logic and reason to show that one idea is more legitimate than another. It attempts to persuade a reader. Independent Activity 1. After reading about informational texts, let us see if you can distinguish their different types. Match the type of informational text in column A with its description in column B. Write the letter of the correct answer in your answer sheet. Column A. 1. Argument text. 2. Literary nonfiction. 3. Procedural text. 4. Expository text. A. Utilizes questions and answers, problems and solutions. B. Provides step-by-step guidelines that describe how to complete a task. C. Includes biographies, memoirs, journalism, and historical, scientific, technical, or economic accounts. D. Includes claims, evidence, and warrants to explain how the evidence is linked to the claims. Column B. Independent Assessment 1. Write T if the sentence is correct and F if it is not. Do this in your answer sheet. 1. Informational text aims to inform. 2. Type of informational text that provides step-by-step guidelines is an expository text. 3. Informational texts can also be found in magazines. 4. Cookbook is an example of an informational text. 5. Showing cause and effect is an example of argumentation or persuasion text. 6. Informational text employs a variety of structures to assist the reader in finding information quickly and efficiently. 7. Persuasion text or persuasive writing uses logic and reason to show that one idea is more legitimate than the other. 8. Expository text exists to provide facts in a way that is educational and purposeful. 9. We can find job through newspapers. 10. A procedural text tells you how to complete a task. The task. Independent activity 2. Supply the needed information in the Venn diagrams. The first diagram is done as an example. Do this in your answer sheet. Answer sheet. Independent assessment 2. A. Read the informational text carefully, then answer the questions that follow in your answer sheet. José Protásio Rizal was born in the town of Calenda, Laguna on 19 June 1861. He was the second son and the seventh among the 11 children of Francisco Mercado and Teodora Alonso. With his mother as his first teacher, he began his early education at home and continued in Benin, Laguna. He entered a Jesuit-run Ateneo Municipal de Manila in 1872 and obtained a bachelor's degree with highest honors in 1876. He studied medicine at the University of Santo Tomas but had to stop because he felt that the Filipino students were being discriminated by their Dominican tutors. He went to Madrid at Universidad Central de Madrid and in 1885 at the age of 24, he finished his course in philosophy and letters with a grade of excellent. 1. When was José Protásio Rizal born? 2. Who was Rizal's first teacher? 3. What made him discontinue his studies at the University of Santo Tomas? 4. Describe José Protásio Rizal as a student. 5. What type of informational text did you read? B. Read the following sentences. Determine the cause and effect in each sentence, then write your answers in your answer sheet. 1. Because it was raining cats and dogs for 4 hours, the school was flooded. 2. The dentist found cavities in my teeth because I never brush my them. 3. The streets were blocked because of the fallen trees. 4. Carla broke her arm so the doctor put it in a cast. 5. A basketball player was traveling so the referee called a penalty. The penalty. Independent activity 3. Arrange the procedure of cooking a pancake in correct order from 1 to 7. Do it in your answer sheet. Preheat the pan or skillet. Mix flour, baking powder, salt, and sugar. Mix milk, eggs, and oil. Mix dry ingredients with wet ingredients. Add oil to the pan. Pour the butter into the pan. Flip the pancakes when the bubbles burst. Independent assessment 3. Read the informational text carefully. One cold morning, a mother and a daughter had their bonding while reading a cookbook. The daughter saw her favorite chocolate cake. She asked her mother to bake a cake for her. Since her mother doesn't know how to bake the cake, she followed the instructions written on the cookbook. First, she opened the cake flour box. Next she poured out the powdered mix into a bowl. Then she put 3 eggs, milk, and baking soda. Afterwards, she mixed all the ingredients together and put it on a baking pan. Lastly, she turned on the oven and baked it. Let us now find out if you can write the steps in baking a chocolate cake. Write your answer in your answer sheet. Answer sheet. A. Identify the type of informational text being described. Write your answer in your answer sheet. 1. It is a type of informational text that includes shorter texts, such as personal essays, speeches, opinion pieces, biographies, and autobiographies. 2. Which type of informational text answers the questions what happened and why? 3. An informational text that uses logic and reason to show that one idea is more legitimate than another. It attempts to persuade a reader. 4. Which type of informational text describes events in Sequential order? 5. Which type of informational text gives a step-by-step procedure? B. Give the 4 types of informational text. A, B, C, D, D. Write yes if the statement is correct and no if it is not. Do it in your answer sheet. 1. Reading a newspaper daily can give me so much information. 2. I will use a cookbook if I do not know how to cook my favorite pasta. 3. An essay about my life is an example of literary non-fiction. 4. Hanging out with my friends and playing online games help me gain more information about the current situation of our country. 5. Comparing my siblings is identifying their similarities and differences. 6. Reading an informational text gives facts about the topic. 7. Spending a day reading a book is a waste of time. 8. I like to cook Daddy's favorite food, so I followed the instructions in the cookbook. 9. My teacher uses Venn diagram when comparing. 10. Reading could help gain so much knowledge. Read the short story carefully and identify the types of informational texts used. Write the literary non-fiction inside a circle, expository text in a box, argument or persuasion inside a pentagon, and procedural text inside a trapezoid. One sunny morning. It was a great day when John went out to a beautiful sunshine. We all know that sunshine is good for our body. It helps our skin produce vitamin D for longevity, makes our bones strong, and improves our brain's function. John's mother once told him that doing exercise is good in the morning, so his father decided to have him exercise by teaching John how to ride a bicycle. You have to remember all the steps before riding a bicycle, father said. So, it left John with no choice but to remember what his dad had taught him. First, gear up, then make your seat height just right. After that, hold the pedal, and then slowly take a hand sway. Lastly, balance the weight and slowly move the pedal and ride. Even if John knows all the steps, his father reminded him to be careful at all times. Yippee! Yippee! I can ride my bike alone. Because I was very happy, I suddenly forgot to take it slowly and carefully. I didn't notice the road hump ahead of me, so I fell and got injured. After the incident, John said, "Really, the advice of a parent is our best protection." Choose one of the 4 types of informational texts. Cut 3 pictures from the magazine or newspaper of your chosen type of informational text and paste them on a long bond paper.